you should lift heavier weights in the lower rep ranges, but also you want to get rid of some of the sticking points. So here's 4 different methods of the bench press that we use to get everybody's numbers up. So check them out. All right, so the first one is a foam roller bench press. Now here's the deal, like usually somebody would actually hold this foam roller or boards, but there's a little technique too where you can just put it under your shirt. So it's gonna look a little bit weird, but but it works. And what it's gonna do is gonna shorten the range of motion and really basically work and strengthen the triceps. Now you can't have a big bench without really strong triceps, and that's kind of like the missing link for a lot of folks. So the way this looks like, I'm gonna put this under. So now this way, if you're lifting by yourself, it may look weird, but watch. I'm gonna go get my lift off, shorten range of motion, and a little pause here. And a lot more work on my triceps. Again, if you got a partner, somebody will just hold that for you, and that's our foam roll bench press. We have the barbell floor press. Now, here's the thing. Most people will say, hey, well, this isn't the best muscle building exercise because you don't get into that deeper range of motion for the muscle. True, but here's what we're doing. Most people have sticking points right around where that end range of motion of the floor press is, right? So again, you'll see when I'm doing this the correct way, I'm gonna have my lift off. I'm gonna come down and pause a little bit. So I keep that tension. So I'm not losing tension in my upper back. And you can see right around where my pause is. And that's usually a sticking point for a lot of people in the bench press, right? So being able to, again, work those weaker links and get stronger in those weaker links are gonna bring that bench press up. So floor press is another method and variation that we use. So this is the pin bench press. We're gonna lift off from the pins. And there's a couple things here why it's helpful. Number one, there's no eccentric. We're kind of gonna drop it down, reset it, right? So from a recovery standpoint, it can be very, very helpful. Also, we can set it where that weak link is that we talked about earlier, right? And you'll kind of see where it's at right now. But I can bring these pins higher or lower. So maybe if it's triceps, we'd actually go higher. If your kind of breaking point is closer to the chest, that's where we start from. And it also teaches you how to drive, like keep your upper back stiff to create that force and drive up. Most people kind of don't have the upper back tension, right? To push off that stability to push off of. So you'll see that, and I'll show you kind of how I'm just kind of actively dropping it down, right? So I'm not using that eccentric on this, and how this would look like in a training session, right? So we're bringing it down. We can set up, right, in the right position. You can see where I'm at. If this is kind of like my weak link, I'm gonna get my upper back tight. So I'm dropping it down. I'm not really using a lot of eccentric stress here. Now, obviously, and we'll rack it back up. This is a lighter weight, but you can see how it's working on a couple of different things that's gonna help you break through those plateaus. So that's our third method. So this is the reverse banded bench press. And you can kind of see the setup. I got a band hanging down, pulling. Depending on the rack that you have, it could be on the outsides. We just put it in the middle. And you want to, have it be loose. When it's completely locked out in a bench press position, ideally the band will be a little loose, so it's full weight. And what happens is, as I come down, that band tension is gonna deload that bottom position, okay? Now, a couple of things that are gonna happen here. Number one, if, I actually like to use it with clients that have beat up shoulders. This feels really good because at that end range, it's deloaded. But also, like, you're stronger at the top than you are at the bottom, right? So reverse band bench press allows us to get used to heavier loads, like the nervous system, because you're gonna be able to use more weight. So again, it's strategic, and we're stronger here at the top. That's why you can bench more from just here than you do for the full range of motion, right? So it deloads it, and it kind of works with that force curve. So you can kind of see as I go do this, is not a lot of weight. For example, if I'm benching around the 315 for one right now, I could do this with probably 375, maybe even more, depending on the band tension, right? So I would be able to use more load. So I'd unrack it, control down, significant deload, right? So I can use quite a lot more weight doing that, which is strategic. Now, with these 4 methods, the idea would be rotating these for about 3-week cycles, right? And again, you can see how some of these strategies are more a deload strategy. They're not as stressful on the nervous system, like the pin press or even this, right? So think of regular bench press and doing that in the lower rep ranges to get stronger, because that's where most people make a mistake. They go and do higher reps. To get stronger, we want to lift heavier loads in the lower rep ranges, and then incorporating these methods for, again, 2-3 weeks at a time to work on the weak links, whether it's that dead stop, whether it's strengthening the triceps. So plug this into your program for the next 12 weeks and see how your bench press goes up. So for more tips like this, make sure to follow the channel.